good evening, watchers. I'm walking over a totally flawed movie review tonight. And tonight I watched this earlier on, about an hour ago, and it's a review of House. I've been watching this tonight. I really enjoyed this film. It's a gem of a horror film. It's like a 1985 film, so it's quite an old film now, and I really enjoyed this film. I've never seen this film before until tonight. Of course, I've got all 4 films, so I'm looking forward to watching the other ones. So what I want to do is do what I did before with the other reviews, when I put the reviews together when I do the sequels, and I was at the Elm Street, with all the other films. So what I'm going to do is like put all the reviews together, the reviews that I do all 4 films, and I put them all together, do the reviews, but I'll do them all separate. So I'll watch film and then watch another. So like I said, I've been watching this tonight. Really enjoyable film. And it's about this novelist, right, who is coming to terms with his son's disappearance, of course. Of course, his aunt has passed away, and of course, he moves into this big house of hers that she lived at. She committed suicide, and of course, there is something going off in this house that at first you don't understand what, but there's crazy things that happen later on in the film. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. He's a pretty creepy character, of course. A bit surprising he turns up later on in the film. Something that he knows very close to. Anyway, the film's got some great freaking effects in it, and I'd say it's aged pretty well. It looks great on Blu-ray too, by the way. It looks fantastic on Blu-ray. I was like, God, these effects, it looks really clean, and looks fantastic. And the film is kind of crossed between Evil Dead and what was the film I was thinking about? Evil Dead and Night of the Demons. Kind of not as nasty as that, but it's not like the most nastiest film I've ever seen. It's kind of fun to watch. It's a fun movie, a horror film, because there's no like full on gore and stuff like. It's just there is heads being chopped off or something. It's not that gruesome, of course. Like I said, it's in this like home, and of course crazy thing. Of course, the home's haunted. Kind of haunted, kind of. You do see some monsters in it. You do see this like fish on the wall, like the eyes on the wall come to life and stuff like that. It's like crazy. Of course, you have this like neighbour who who he meets when he moves into the house. Of course, he's kind of like a bit of a nosy neighbour. Of course, he's a big fan of his because he writes books and stuff like that. And of course, he's writing this book about Vietnam and stuff like that. So when he moves into this house, when you see him writing the book and stuff about the Vietnam, the Vietnam War and stuff like stories, stuff like you do see like certain parts, like it's like you can see him thinking about it, and then the next bit is in the Vietnam War, it actually happening. Of course, then it plays later on with the kind of hallucinations and stuff like that. Is that what you call them? Because the demon, the monster in it, whatever it is, the demon is like playing tricks on us, right? You can see because one part of the film where you actually see his son and stuff. There's a weird scene, right, where he's watching a film, right. Next minute he turns the TV off, and next minute he sees his son in the window. Then he presses the button again. The kid kind of disappears. It's weird, like the TV being turned off, and that scene was kind of strange. Even I was like, what the hell? But it's a fun movie. It's got some great freaking effects in it. Like I said, it's got some quite creepy moments. You do see one part of the film where he sees his aunt still alive, and she's warning him about this house that tricks you or something. So it's a big house though. I was like, it's a big house, cool house. So I was like, oh, I live in there. Hell, even if it's haunted, fantastic. I like the character. What's his name? What's the guy's name? Roger Cobb. That's his name. Roger Cobb. Like I said, this guy who keeps watching all the time. Of course, there's a creepy scene in this film. I was like, Jesus, he's not living with his wife anymore. But like I said, his kid's disappeared. Actually, his kid disappeared in the house. No, actually, he disappeared in the swimming pool that they have, because he lived there before with his aunt. Well, then he didn't after that. So, then you find out later on, and it's a great. I like the ending to it. It's got a good ending to it, the way this film ends. It's pretty good actually. Like I said, this kid disappears, so he moves back into the house. Crazy things starts happening. And like I said, it's crazy moments. There's a crazy scene where I was like, made me kind of like, oh shit. Well, his wife comes back, and I first thought it was his wife. I thought, oh, his wife's here, because he's got like a shotgun. No, it's like one. No, okay, let's just explain a bit of the story right first. So what he does is, right, he moves into the house, of course. So it happens, right, where he goes into this, like, he opens this door, right, and this monster comes flying out. It's like a cubio, jumps out, and of course then he starts sticking his cameras where the cubio is, the door with the keeps closed and stuff like that. And his friend freaking, of course his friend blade turns up, and he's like, thinks he's a little bit crazy, like, cuckoo, of course. He does something smart later on there, the guy does, by actually saying it's a raccoon. And he sets his friend up to actually witness these monsters and stuff like that. I like the way they did that. And of course his friend's like, ah, so it's all true then. So he does actually convince his friend afterwards, and that scene was pretty cool, where actually his friend witnesses a monster coming out the closet or something. I'd say cubio or something like that. So yeah, that scene was pretty good. The monster effects are pretty awesome. The effects are good. But anyway, I'll go back to the scene with his wife, and this scene was pretty cool, where he's like, it's like got a shotgun. He comes running downstairs. Next to it, his wife's there, and this is like later on in the film, and this is before. What was this? Yeah, this is early on in the film. Anyway, so again. So anyway, there's one part where the film where he comes downstairs, right, and his wife's here, and you're thinking he's got like a shotgun, and you think, oh okay, she's here, but then there's a little bit of a twist that she like drops down, because he drops some of the bullets right from the shotgun. Next minute she stands back up, and next minute she's like a freaking like a monster. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's pretty freaky what she looks like. She looks worse for wear, that's for sure. She doesn't look like great looking. She's a good looking woman, then when she stands back up, she's like good looking and ugly. It like pops up like that, she's like, ugh. She's like freaking out. He's like, Jesus Christ. And I like the part where he shoots her, and then the cops turn on. Of course, he hides the body underneath this, where the stairs are, underneath the stairs. And that scene was quite cool, you think, because when he shoots her, she's back to normal self again. Then he has to, of course, chop her up, of course, and bury her body parts. And then there's like this good, attractive woman that's actually living on the same street as him. She turns up with her son. Then there's one weird part where he's got where the demon hands on the kid and stuff. It's kind of weird. It's got some weird scenes in it. I was a bit suspicious about her, because she kind of like, she's saying some weird stuff about he likes to play and I like to play and stuff like that. And it's like, huh. I'm not sure if I trust these two, you know, but anyway, so it's weird, because there's one part where the demon tries to grab hold of the kid and stuff, these little demon kid things, and the kid's not scared. It's kind of like, looks like he's having a lot of fun and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm not explaining too much, because it's like I said, I finished it ages ago, an hour ago. Really enjoyed it. It was a really good film. Good special effects. It's actually the same person who did Friday the 13th. Yeah, he did Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3, and Halloween H2O, and Lake Placid. Great films, by the way. I like all those films. I like Friday the 13th, 2 and 3, Halloween H2O, and Lake Placid. So yeah, House is a great film. Really enjoyed it. Good sense of humour. Good monsters in it. Freaking that part where he's in this, like, he's dangling down on this rope, and this freaking this flying demon thing comes after him. The effects are fantastic, like I said. Like I said, I've never seen these films, but loved it. And the last part's pretty cool. I like the part where he gets, no, like I said, there's one part where he gets sucked into the closet, right? Next minute, he's back in the Vietnam War. He's back in the Vietnam War. You think, hang on a minute. Then he gets thrown back into his house again. It's like he goes. It's like, is he hallucinating or something? Because the demon kind of like plays with his brain and stuff like that. So it's like I said, it's a bit like Evil Dead a little bit, because the demon kind of like plays a few tricks. Demon's got tricks up its sleeves, by the way. So yeah, and that scene was pretty cool. And there's like a certain character that turns up at the end. I was like, oh my god, pissed off demon. So you find out it was later on who the demon is that's actually tricking him. And it's a great little twist there. Like I said, good effects, good solid performances, and the story. I like the story to it, and I won't be surprised if they remade this. But yeah, it's a classic film. So I'm trying to think what rate I want to give this. I'll probably give it a 9 out of 10 because I really enjoyed it. It's a gem of a horror film. Good effects, like I said, good solid performance from the main character in it, and some really creepy moments in it. So yeah, not like super terrifying, but definitely got some creepy moments in it. So yeah, so 9 out of 10 for House, the first one, House 1. I'm so looking forward to watching the sequel though. Like I said, I've never seen this film before. I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. Now I can see why it's such a gem of an 80s horror film. So it's like a 33-year-old film now, so it's quite an old film. Same year as Back to the Future classics like that. So yeah, so 9 out of 10 for House. Right, my second review is House 2: The Second Story. Now, as you see, House 2: The Second Story. This is my second review, of course. Of course, if you saw my last review, it was like 2 days ago, which is 2 days ago. So anyway, this film was great. This film was a lot. It was like kind of tongue. It was like humorous. A lot of humour in this film. And I really enjoyed this. Of course, this is a different house compared to the first one, and it's quite impressive. The houses. I was like, gee, that's an impressive house. It's quite big. It's quite big from the inside too. Like I said, this is a completely different story to the first one. It's about a character called Jesse. Of course, he's moving to his old this house his parents used to live in. Of course, they were killed by some kind of guy with a gun. Like it's like a cowboy guy, killed by the cowboy guy, Cowboy Dreams. And this film was really, and I enjoyed this film. Like I say, he moves into his house with his friend, and a few things happen in this house, crazy stuff. It's like this school that these characters keep. You know, first of all, they're like, okay, let's just get to the story. Right, first of all, they move into this house, right, with his girlfriend, of course. She's a bit, bossy sometimes, but anyway, so they move into this house with his girlfriend, of course, and then they dig up this skull. I was caught from his grandpa's grave, of course. Doing that actually brings grandpa to life, which is quite interesting because when I was watching that scene, I thought it was going to be some kind of like gotcha moment, when someone's playing a trick on him, and of course, anyway, grandpa moves in with him, of course, when that happens though, right, you see all sorts of characters and adventures in this movie. It's like an adventure movie at the same time. It's not just horror film, it's kind of comedy at the same time. I was sitting there going, what is going on? It's bonkers. The film is quite strange, but in a good way, not in a kind of like it's strange and bad. It's not. It's really a good film. I really enjoyed it. Especially that little dog is my favourite. That little dog, I think. I was like, Jesus Christ, is that a dog? Crazy. You'll see what I mean. If you ever see the film, I won't say too much to spoil it, but the dog scene was pretty fun. Quite a cute dog in it, and this bird too that they have. Anyways, this big bird, I was just like, it's crazy. It's like a strange movie. It's like it's a good film though. He's quite scary. There's like a main villain in it. It's like cowboy dude. He's after the school. There's other characters after the school. For their reasons, of course. Because you see him like end up in a western setting. You see him in another setting like in the jungle with dinosaurs and stuff, and weird, crazy animals and stuff like that. It's like I said, it's a strange movie. I think is this a horror film or something else? A fantasy movie. So anyway. Good film though. So anyway, when they do that, when they do have the school, like I said, there's all characters, and then you see his character, this electrician in it who turns up and tries to sort out the electrician, But then it's like a twist in who he is and stuff like that. You think, huh? And it's weird. It's like he finds this like portal right by accident through this wall or this place right, and it's just casual about it. It's like, oh, you don't look. It's just sort of it's another portal. Another universe, whatever, another thing, and it's like casual about it. It's like, and he joins him and starts, and it's like, what is going on? It's bonkers. This film is like I said, it's got some crazy moments in it. in this film, and good practical effects, good effects in it. Some of it actually use stop motion and stuff like that, but yeah, so which is cool. I always like stop motion animated special effects. And like I said, it's a strange movie. I was sitting there going, huh, what is going on here? I mean, you got like a mummified grandpa in it. You got like a dog in it. That's not a dog. Well, it is a dog, and it's not a dog. And then you got this big bird. Well, it's actually a baby bird, but it's a big bird. And then this woman, this virgin girl in it, an attractive woman in it. They find. But yeah, it's a strange one. I've read it in a good way, of course. I enjoyed it. Really, it's like the first one, but even more crazier, more bonkers. I suppose anyway, it's like what's that film called? Return of the Living Dead 2, where it's like kind of got humour in and stuff like that. And sometimes they have like a film where they have a lot of humour in a certain sequel, and then it'll take itself seriously later on. But this is like sometimes I've seen that film where you see a comedy film, and then it's like like Night of the Living Dead where the Return of the Living Dead where the first one was like comedy, the second one was kind of comedy, and the third one was more serious. Like, well, this one was like completely bonkers. Because this feels like a western stage. It's like the last part was pretty cool. The western feel to it, where they did that. Like there's a school, people after them from different portals and places and stuff like that. This house is quite impressive though. The thing is though, it's not really a ghost story. It is and it's not, because certain characters aren't really dead. They're like from another place, like the dog. It's like the monsters and certain things like that. But then you got this guy, this crazy looking western guy, this cowboy guy who's completely he's dead and dead. But the grandpa's pretty funny in it. I like him in it. It's kind of sad part of what happens to him, but I won't say too much about it. So you have to watch it. So like I said, the effects are pretty cool. The practical effects, the makeup effects on the characters. Sometimes I don't like to say it because I like to watch a film and actually say that's not makeup, that's real. That's where I'm at. I just like to watch a film and say that's effects. I just like to enjoy a film, but yeah, pretty decent performance from the cast. But the bird part was pretty funny. This bird, anyway. So when they turn up and when they go to this other place, right, it's like thinking they're trying to get the freaking egg right. Of course, they drop down. One of the characters dropped down. He dropped. Then the thing is, when that happens, they drop back into the house again. Like I said, it's like another universe, another portal or something like that, to another place. And when they do it, they bring all the creatures back. The dog thing and the bird, and it's quite funny. It's quite bizarre. It's in a good way, of course. I liked it though. I really did enjoy this. I do like these kind of like fun horror movies that sometimes take themselves seriously. But this film definitely doesn't take itself seriously, and it does at the same time, because it's not like humour all the way through. It does have a lot of humour, but it does it so well, I'd say. I did enjoy it. Has some creepy moments. Not like terrifying and scary as film is, because I've seen a lot of scary. I won't be surprised if they remade this one, rebooted and stuff, made a sequel to this. I'm not sure how many. I think there's like just 4 films. It says it's getting weirder. Yeah, I agree with that. It's weird. It's a weird film, like I said. I say the house is pretty cool. I like the house. I'm like, God, I love to explore the house. It's a great house. It's quite a big house, I'll say. I'm like, God, I love to explore the house. When they do get to the house, right, the girl's moaning, his girlfriend's moaning about it, and I'm thinking to myself, you've got to be kidding, man. That is a cool looking house, creepy. It's not creepy, it's just dusty and everything, but it's massive. It's like, I'd love to go there. I'd love to go to a house where it's dusty and stuff. It's freaking fantastic. And this house is cool as hell. She's moaning about it, hell. So yeah, right, I'm going to cut this review short. Like I said, I'm going to do a review of 4 films. So this is the second one. House 2, the second story, which is kind of that's what I mean. It's like the second story. It's obvious, but it's a different house, different characters in it. So it doesn't have nothing to do with the first film. It's directed by Evan Wiley. I'm not sure if he's directed the first one. I don't think it is. So the review. Okay, I'm going to cut this short now. The rating I'm going to give this film is an 8 out of 10 because I enjoyed it. I genuinely enjoyed it. It's not like the scariest film I've ever seen. It's got some crazy moments in it, bonkers scenes. But that's what I liked about it. It's unique. It's a gem of a horror film. Like I said, the first one was, and this one is. So I guess 8 out of 10 for being a gem. And it's a fun movie. It's like one of those films that you can just enjoy. Even if I was a kid, man, I watched this, I would have loved it. It's not too terrifying, but it's enjoyable. And the practical effects are great. The effects are great. Solid performance from the cast. The guy who plays Jesse is a good actor. At first, I thought it was him off freaking Legends of Tomorrow because it looks a bit like him. Or I don't think it's not him. It does look like him though. You see, I was like, looks a bit like him off Legends of Tomorrow. So yeah, it's friend in it though. It looks familiar. I've seen him before. I can't remember what I've seen him on. I've seen quite a lot of films. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for House 2. Second story. Enjoy if you've never seen it. If you've never seen it, check it out. This review is House 3 Horror Show. Now, this was really enjoyable film tonight. I watched it tonight. Not long finished watching it. And this one stars Lance Erickson, and he plays like he plays a detective in it, of course. And then you have the serial killer called Max Jenke, who is sent to the electric chair. Of course, he vows revenge. He vows to actually come back from the dead, and he does. But then you meet this like scientist in it seems to know a lot about spirits and stuff like and stuff like that. And the guy who plays the serial killer, he's great in it, by the way. I like his actor. He's a good actor. He's quite nuts in this film. He's not very nice in it, of course. Then again, I don't think he's ever played a nice character. Maybe in Fifth Element, I think. But anyway, like I say, he plays like a crazy serial killer who comes back from the dead, and after he was electrocuted, of course. Of course, he wants to be. Of course, there's a bit of a twist because he wants to be electrocuted or something. Because you find out something interesting later on. Let's just say just a bit of practice on himself. So anyway, at the beginning of the film, you actually see him. Lance Erickson's character waking up one day. The doors he goes downstairs, the doors open and everything, and then he goes down to the basement, of course. But then when he's looking at this like furnace, right? It's like where the he's looking at something, and then he starts having this like I suppose a memory or something, and what it is, and next minute you actually see him like having like it's like a playback, I suppose, of his when he caught his character Max Jenke, and that part was pretty. It's quite violent, this film, and I was like, Jesus Christ! I did like the flashback scene, and then it had another bit of a twist in the whole dream sequence and a flashback scene. So that's what I call it, a dream sequence flashback scene, because you think it's a dream, then you think it's a flashback, then it turns into a dream. It's like that. Wait. Anyway, he lives with his wife, his daughter, and his son. Of course, his son was actually on Deep Space Nine. If you made that, I've seen him before. He played a Ferengi on Deep Space Nine, and he's been in Star Trek and stuff like that. Of course, he thinks when he starts hearing things and seeing things and so on. He thinks he's losing his marbles and stuff. Of course, he's not. But it looks like he's. This actually films reminds of the Elm Street movies where. Because you see certain parts where they're having like is it Turka? Chicken or Turka, so I think it's Turka. And he starts seeing some weird shit going off with this Turka. And it's kind of creepy actually. And the TV scene is pretty cool too, where he starts seeing Jenkins on the TV and stuff like that, and he shoots him and stuff like that. And there's a lot of crazy moments in this film. And it's like I said, he looks like he's going nuts in this film, but he's not. Because the thing is making him like that. Of course, the daughter has a boyfriend who doesn't go well with him. Of course, something happens to him in the film. Of course, well, this film's got some great death scenes and really quite nasty moments in it. Violent, way violent in the first two movies. The second one was kind of fun. Actually quite funny. It wasn't too bad, new nasty and everything. But this one's like complete opposite. It's nasty as hell. Violence, heads being chopped off, and blood and guts and stuff like that. So yeah. It's a bit more serious, but it does have a bit of a humorous moments in this film still. When he's sitting in a car and Jenkins is sitting next to him, he says, "I'm still here," and it's quite funny. But yeah, there's a bit of a nutter in this film. I won't be surprised if they remade these films. Yeah, she's great. The daughter is, she's great. They're all great now, of course. The daughter, the thing, the mother and stuff like that. But yeah, I was like, wow, this film's great. I like the effects in this film, the practical effects, and this film uses practical effects more. The death scenes, like I said, the death scenes are very good. It's actually not my favourite. It's not my favourite. I don't know. I don't know which is my favourite. It's either between the first one or this one. But I did like the second one. That was excellent. Lance Erickson's on top form. He plays a kind of like a cop that people think is going crazy. Is, you know, you think they actually accused him of murder, and I thought, hang on a minute. There's one part where his daughter gets a phone call from her boyfriend, but then when he goes down to the basement to get his wallet, he finds that he tells her to go down. But I don't think it was. Hang on a minute. I can phone you. You must know something's wrong. And he's getting. And of course, his dad gets. Her dad gets blamed for it. Of course, you think, hang on a minute, crazy. How the hell could he have phoned Dad and then somehow end up dead? That scene. So yeah, that scene was kind of strange, but still. It's got some crazy moments in this film, as like the other ones. But this is slightly more serious than the other ones, slight bit, Bill. But it still has that tongue-in-cheek, scary, creepy, crazy monster, crazy villain in it. I don't know what to say about this one. Of course, I've never seen this film before. I've seen like the first, like I said, I saw the first. I did a review of those two, and I enjoyed them. But this one was more violent, a lot more violent. I was like, Jesus Christ, because in this you see body parts, you see heads, you see exploding heads and stuff like, and stuff like that. And a lot of swearing in it, of course. Of course, you've got to have swearing in these films. So it's a lot different to the last two, because this one's slightly more serious, slightly bit more serious. More sinister, I'd say. Yeah, he's like playing games with us. Of course, he wants revenge against him. Of course, later on in the film, some crazy shit's happened. Of course, there's one part in the film where the guy in it decides, he tells him to actually, the only way you can bring him back from the dead is to, what was it, electrocute him and stuff, and then bring him back from the dead. In the real world, so they can actually kill him. So if they brought him back into the real world, they can kill him by shooting him and stuff like that. Which, let's just say, it plays a part in the last part of the film, which is interesting. Of course, something happens to the scientist guy, because let's just say he doesn't quite turn out well for him. Of course, he doesn't really have much of a death scene. He kind of dies, but you don't really see it. If you know what I mean. He has this like meat cleaver thing he does, and he's kind of nuts with it. He's really quite dangerous because he kills. Yeah, he does a lot of. You know, he's quite lethal with that. He's like, you know, you won't want him. You won't want to meet him in a dark alley. That's for sure. And it's just crazy. It's like, and he's really good. He has great screen presence. I don't know what his name is. I keep forgetting it. But he's a good actor in it. Meat Cleaver, Max returns from... Yeah, because he returns from the grave, of course. This film was... I actually watched the uncut version, the UK uncut version. It's really good. It's a good film. Uncut. That's what Jason X cut on Blu-ray. I've got the DVD version on uncut on DVD, but the Blu-ray version is always cut for some odd reasons. So yeah. Like a solid performance from the cast. The daughter's great. The son's great. Mother's great. Lance Erickson's always great. He's always a good actor. He always plays that. He always got when he plays a role, a certain role, right? He's always got something that's interesting about his role. Sometimes he can be a complex character. Sometimes. But yeah, Lance Erickson's a great actor. He is a fantastic. Aliens 3 is good in. Near Dark, great film. What other films has been? There's been a lot of great films. But Aliens, fantastic movie, so yeah. Hard Target, great film. Love that film. But as I said, the effects are really good. The action scenes are good. It's got some cool action. scary moments in it, creepy moments. It's not like the scariest film I've ever seen, but it's a lot more creepy than the last two, I think. It's got some kind of okay, he's gonna pop out somewhere. This guy is crazy as hell. So yeah, I'm gonna cut this review short now. So the rating I'm gonna give this film is it's a 9 out of 10 because I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I like the effects in it. I like the scary moments in it. I like the death scenes in it. I like the story in it. I like the guy, the crazy guy freaking getting executed who comes back from the dead and wreaks revenge on, and he seeks revenge and stuff like that. And I like that. So yeah, I said one more time. I like the daughter in it too. So yeah, so the 9 out of 10 for House 3 Horror, the horror show. Good movie, really good film. Definitely worth picking up. If you want to see the house films, check them out. So yeah, I've been watching this early on. And what can I say? It's a fun bloody horror film. It's funny, it's silly, but it's got some kind of creepy moments that made me slightly jump a little bit. But yeah, this film was good. This is the fourth one in the film series. I think it was 1992, 91. This film was so. But I enjoyed it. It did have some silly moments in it. I was just like, what the hell? So, but in a good way because the effects are really good in this film. And it's about this mother and daughter who move into the house because it was involved in a car crash with the husband. Of course, he dies. And of course, it explains later on how it happened. And it's not what you. It's like, oh, that's how it happened. That's interesting. But yeah, and anyway, so yeah, they move into this creepy old house, of course, which belonged to their husband, of course. So anyway, when they do move into the house, right, is of course the brother-in-law. Her husband's brother-in-law is not really his brother. He's after the house. He's telling them to move out of the house and stuff like that. And of course, she doesn't want to move. Of course, she almost decides to move and sell the house to him. Of course, they want to knock the house down. Because the mob, because he works for the mob, you see, and of course, there is a screwed up scene in this film. It's kind of screwed up and funny at the same time. It's good. It's nasty. It's nasty. It's a nasty scene. I was like, ugh. And I'll get to that scene in a bit. But anyway, they move into the house, and of course, it's a nice big house actually. It's like the other house movies with a creepy house. It's all dusty and stuff like that. And actually, the husband's died, right? Of course, they got the ashes in the house. So they move into the house, and of course, like I said, there's a point where, of course, they're trying to, like I said, the mob's trying to freaking get them to sell the house by threatening them and stuff like that. And of course, she's like, no. Of course, like I said, she almost like decides to sell the house because what happens later on in the film, involving a dog with a lampshade and these two guys, and it's like the part who's part of the mob, of course. Then she decides to keep the house. No, it's like, so anyway, like I said, it's a good film. I enjoyed it, but I won't say it's the scariest of the series. It's not like really super scary, but it's fun as hell to watch. The effects are really good in it. It's got some very funny moments in it, involving a singing pizza and a guy who sings about pizza, and it's like this pizza delivery person. It's funny. It's like it's kind of creepy at the same time when you see it singing and stuff. The pizza, you think, oh, that's kind of creepy. And then she slaughters it down one of those dream things where it's like, and I was just like, that is so bonkers, that scene is, because there's part where she kind of opens the pizza and the girl's kind of like, anchovies, that's disgusting. You think, instead of seeing her singing pizza, she sees anchovies and stuff like that. So she doesn't like anchovies, but and then she shows the pizza, and then it's a funny scene actually, because the way she responds, it's hilarious. And there is another scene in this film I was just like, geez, that's disgusting. I did say I'll get to that scene, and I'll get to that scene right now. And like I said, the local mobs after the house, of course, and there's this guy in it, right? And there's a scene where they're in this like factory or something where there's toxic stuff on, and he goes into with these guys, like these two guys, right? into space, and this guy's sitting down, right? Next minute he's talking, and next minute he's got something stuck in his throat. It's like snot and stuff all mixed together. It's disgusting, and he's trying to get it out. So they put this machine to his throat and they suck it all out. And it's funny because the face expression, the guy's face expression is like, you know, that's just disgusting. And then what happens after is even screwed up, because he puts them on the table, right, and then he's got that stuff in the freaking jug. It's like in a cup or something, and then it pulls it into his mouth, and it's disgusting. I don't know what it is. It's phlegm or something, or some stuff in it, and it's funny but disgusting at the same time. It made me laugh. I just couldn't stop laughing. So freaking mad. Because his face expression when he's like, next minute they're pouring it down his freaking throat and stuff, and it's and the other guys are like, oh, you know. Even they're like, I think I'd rather get shot by a stray bullet than bloody eat his sticky green stuff. And it's disgusting. It really is. It's like, it's disgusting but funny at the same time. It made me laugh. Because later on in the film he's trying to get, he's like brushing his teeth and he's putting stuff in his mouth, clearing his throat and stuff like that. He's like that. It's a nasty scene, but it's funny at the same time. It made me laugh. Well, I actually say it's funny. There's a pizza scene. I don't know, it made me laugh. It's disgusting. And like I said, they're trying to get him out of the house. Of course, she's like staying. First of all, she was going to sell the house, and then something happens, and she starts to stay. Of course. And there's a part in the film where someone shows her what happened on them on the road when the tire burst. That scene was cool, you know, the part where quite shocking, you know, nasty at the same time, but it was pretty well put together scene where the car kind of like the tire bursts and the car goes flying and stuff and explodes. Of course, he survived almost. Then of course he was so badly burned that to cut the machine off, and she does have flashbacks, like dream sequences and stuff like of the accident. Of course, it wasn't an accident in the first place. Of course, them have the brother-in-law who wants the house. That involves the scene with the accident. Of course, it explains later on in the film, and of course, the last bit where they try to set fire to the house and stuff is pretty. Actually, that scene was quite funny. They caught, like his bugs and stuff with the guys are setting fire to the house, right? And this scene was freaking funny. It was kind of, you know, it's like there's one guy seeing snakes and one of the other guys seeing freaking bugs, and they both start shooting each other. Because when they turn around, right, one's got like a fly head or something, and the other guy's got like a snake head, like a bug head, and they're both shooting each other, and it's quite a funny scene. Of course, the girl gets trapped in the house with, and the mother's has to go out and rescue the daughter, of course, right at the end, of course. Of course, she's trapped in the house, the mother has to go in the house to save her, of course. But yeah. Don't be along with you like the other ones, because I want to cut them short, because I need to make them less than an hour. They need about half an hour, 20 minutes. So I have to cut bits off and stuff like that. So yeah, the film's called House for Repossession. Now, it's a good film. It's really enjoyable. I was just like, this film is enjoyable. The first one I enjoyed, the second one I enjoyed, third one I enjoyed, the fourth one was no exception. But yeah, cool effects, really good effects. The dog with the lampshade scene was very funny. It made me laugh. I thought it looked ridiculous. The dog did. It was big dog, you know, the big dog. Because she has this like this dog with this lampshade. It's like a dog with a lampshade. It's like, but this dog comes to life, massive. And I do like the scene at the end where she actually does see her husband at the end, and he's a ghost and stuff like that, and he's telling her to go back in the house and rescue and save her. She needs to be saved, and that scene was quite nice. So they did that. Well, yeah, I did like the last part. There's one part that kind of made no sense where he's in the car with the mobsters, where he's by the house, and it's when he's in the back of a van or something. That scene was kind of weird. But it's a cool film, like nice. It's one of those movies that you can enjoy. It's not too like full on gore, but the scene with the freaking get that stuff out his throat and his phlegm stuff whatever. The scene was pretty gross actually. Even I was like, ugh. But that said, it did make me laugh a little bit. So yeah. So I'm going to cut this review short. I'm going to give this film an 8 out of 10 because I really enjoyed it. I thought the last part kind of made no sense in a sense, but it's a house film, so I give it an 8 out of 10. It did make sense, but the part where he's in the car and unless that was an illusion, the thing was playing tricks on him just to get him to converse. I don't know, but yeah, it was strange the last bit was. But apart from that, I didn't have a problem with the film. It was a really enjoyable film. Good effects, decent performance from the cast, some creepy moments in it. So 8 out of 10 for House, the Repossession. Really good film. I enjoyed it. Definitely worth. If you see it in the show, if you haven't got the other films, watch them first, and then watch this. It's a fun movie. It's one of those horror movies that you could just enjoy and have a laugh at. It's funny as hell. I was about to say the F word, and then I thought, oh, then again, it doesn't really matter if I say the F word or the C word. So yeah. Ooh, yeah. Creepy house. Ooh, you got me, please. And yeah, good movie. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, like I said, if you haven't seen these films, pick them all up. They're definitely worth picking up. I enjoyed it. I really had a blast. Never seen this film before until now. Never saw the first one. That was the first time I watched it. Second one, first time. Third one, first. I don't know. Maybe I've seen bits and bobs. I don't know, because that seemed the stuff that I don't know, that kind of look familiar, but maybe I'm wrong. If I did see it, I probably did see it, so I don't know. So yeah, but apart from that, I don't think I've seen the film fuller. So yeah, I definitely haven't seen the films fuller. So yeah, so 8 out of 10 for House for Repossession. And if you ever want to put either comment at the bottom, what's your favourite house movie? And what do you think of them? So yeah, it's called Home. I love that. Home, Deadliest Home. I like that. It's cool. Nice house too. Give me a house with personality instead of a bloody house, and that's it. You know. So yeah, so 8 out of 10 for House Repossession. So people, remember to subscribe to my channel. Remember to, if you ever go into a creepy house and you move into a house, make sure it's not haunted. But then again, if it is, you know you're gonna call. Cue the music, huh? So anyway, so if you move into a house and it's creepy as hell, you know, and it's like, you know, it's haunted, who are you gonna call? And call me. I'll put my number at the bottom of this. If your house is haunted, just call me. I'll be over there in a jiffy. So anyway, people, remember to subscribe to my channel, and like I said, if you see a ghost in your house, just, you know, call the bloody Ghostbusters or something. So there's your answer. So anyway, people, have a nice evening, take care, and enjoy the video. See you later.